In this episode, we talk to Erin Reynolds, the president and creative director at Flying Mollusk. A very interesting person because she takes gaming very seriously. I say that because gaming is her profession and her business. So we talk to Erin Reynolds and find out about what the future of gaming is. Thanks, Erin, for joining us on Winning Ways.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, it's a great pleasure. Gaming has become very serious business. I mean, typically when you talk of, when you mention the word gaming, I mean, the picture that comes to your mind is basically a whole lot of kids out there sitting and playing video games.
Sure.
But how has it really evolved? I mean, do businesses take gaming very seriously now?
Oh, absolutely. Gaming has evolved so quickly in gosh, the last 10 years, but especially the last 5 years, the last 2 years, the last year alone. It's constantly changing and growing. And so, when I grew up, gaming was pretty much a handheld Game Boy and maybe a Nintendo if you were lucky. And now, gaming is everything from games that people play on their mobile devices to, the incredibly powerful console devices to virtual reality, which will be coming out soon. There's even esports, a whole like a sports type attraction around gaming now that is so diverse, it's so big that it's an incredibly different ball game, so to speak, than it was very recently.
I also saw that one of your games, basically, it helps people to detect what causes them stress or anxiety and to manage them. How does this really work?
Yeah, so the game that I've been focused on recently is a game called Nevermind, and it uses heart rate sensors to pick up indications of fear, stress, anxiety. And so we built this game not only to create a very entertaining experience that people would want to play in its own right, but as a method for people to become more aware of their stressful, reactions, whether that's tightness in their shoulders or a knot in their stomach, and learn how to recognize those feelings of stress and manage them on the fly. So you have to get really good at managing your stress to be successful at Nevermind, and those same skills that you develop while playing the game are ones you can use in the real life. So, at Flying Mollusk, at my company, we focus on these positive games that are meant to entertain, but also enhance the player and give back to the player and give them the skill they can use both in the game world and outside of the game world.
So does this game, is it very individualistic, or is it used as a therapeutic game by maybe consultants or hospitals or things like that?
Yeah, so right now the current version that's publicly available is out there primarily as an entertainment and wellness product. So we want people to play it to have fun. We want people to play it for just again for kind of helping them become more mindful of stressful situations, how they react to them. But our long-term vision for Nevermind, and I think games in general have such incredible capacity to go in this direction, is to continue to work with psychologists and medical professionals to make it something that could be a powerful tool in therapeutic settings. And I think that's a very possible reality for Nevermind and again other games in the not too distant future.
So where do you see the future for gaming? Do you see a lot of businesses and corporates using gaming as part of their training process or managing people and things like that? Do you see that coming?
Absolutely. Games have this amazing potential to really provide effortless motivation in many ways and context. I think, for example, as a kid, I played this game called Echo the Dolphin, where you play as this dolphin. And it's a silly game. It's a wonderful game, but it's a silly game. And I left that experience wanting to study so much about dolphins. I was so interested, I almost became a marine biologist. And games can do this. And so I think there's a lot of application for training, for education. There's a lot of applications for it, especially when you pair it with things like biofeedback technology and virtual reality and some of these emerging tech that's coming out now, basically.
So are you able to kind of crystal gaze and say what would be a gaming experience like? With all this virtual reality, augmented reality and all that coming in?
Yeah, well, I think it's hard to say what the gaming experience will be like in the future because it's so diverse. There's everything from mobile games to incredibly immersive games in virtual reality. So I think we're going to see more diversity and there'll be something for everybody, which I think is very cool. But I do see a reality where you have a full immersion experience with virtual reality, biofeedback, motion motion detection, all of that combined into one to create this entirely encompassing experience that can be, I think, very rewarding and you know, for lack of a better term, very cool as well. I'm looking forward to experiencing that. And again, I think all of this is just right around the corner. It's a very cool time to be making games and playing games.
So what really made you to come into gaming? I mean, I know as a kid probably playing games, I mean, most kids do imagine that they want to do something like this, but very few really are so focused to, you know, get into this, you know, go and study fine arts and then, you know, the visual creative side and then be a game. I mean, you've been in this industry for more than 10 years now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a long time. Yeah, you know, I grew up playing games. I loved video games as a kid, but I guess I didn't ever really think that you could actually get a job in playing games. I went into college wanting to find a way to combine my passion for art and technology, and that first manifested as animation. I was really into the Pixar films, and so I studied that for a little bit and realized I was just absolutely awful at animation. I couldn't do a walk cycle to save my life. And that evolved in visual effects, and that was okay, but you know, we went on a school trip to a video game studio, and as soon as it dawned on me that this is an actual job, it was love at first sight, basically. It's like, oh, this is the perfect combination of my interests and my skills, and I took an internship and at a game studio, and you know, the rest is history. I've been, you know, they haven't been able to kick me out of the industry yet. You know, I love it. I love every part of it. And so, you know, I think now more than ever, it's a very welcoming industry for people who want to go in and make games. Tools such as the Unity engine is so accessible and so easy to learn that I think really anyone from, you know, a 5-year-old student to an 80-year-old, you know, grandparent can pick it up and learn it if they want and create their games and create their art really through those engines, you know, very, very easily. It's, as I said, it's a very cool time to be in the game industry because now more than anything, now more than any time before, anything is possible.
And I mean, you worked in the gaming industry for a while, and then you went on to start your own company, Flying Mollusk. Mm-hmm. So how has it been, you know, being a startup and being there on your own?
Yeah, it's been quite the journey. I've learned a lot, to say the least. You know, we're a very small indie studio. We have about 4 core people working together, and so you have to wear a lot of hats. So I've been in the game industry. My background's in the creative side, game design, game art, and now I've had to learn how to do marketing and social media and business development, and you know, you learn a new thing every day, every hour sometimes. And that's been really great, but it's a lot of work. It's you know, a lot of late nights, and you know, you have to love it to really be able to make it happen. And you know, fortunately, I do, and I think a lot of people out there are equally as passionate. So it's a challenge, but worth it.
So, what do you think has kept you going? I mean, in terms, if you were to point out what has been your winning way in terms of, you know, all these years in the profession.
Gosh, I think for me, it's really finding what makes my fire burn, so to speak. What gets me really excited about games. For example, I'm really passionate about positive games that entertain and give back. And so, you know, once I started down that path, really just thinking about the possibilities that games have to really enhance people's lives in a very positive way. That's been my main focus, and there's been good times and there's been very bad times in that journey, and I always come back to, you know what, at the end of the day, this is all about finding ways to make games that have this positive impact on people, and if I can have a positive impact on just one player, then it's all worth it. So it's really just going back to what makes me really excited about what I do, you know, even when times are dark, you know, it makes it all worth it.
Thanks, Erin.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.